Well, shifting our focus to what is happening in the politics of Karnataka, Mr. Yediyurappa flags off the Savarkar Rath Yatra program in Mysore. And you remember we've been talking about the entire controversy which is happening around the Savarkar Rath Yatra. There were posters of Savarkar that had come up in a certain area. There was violence that was witnessed in that area. There were comments that came from the Congress party that did not go down well with the BJP. And now in response to this entire controversy, you have Mr. Yediyurappa holding the Savarkar rally. We have seen multiple controversies and debates around the historical figure of Veer Savarkar. The BJP stands staunchly behind him and the Congress has left no occasion to attack him and his legacy as a leader. The BJP goes on to say that they believe in the work that was done by Savarkar and hence this Rath Yatra will be held. This entire event also assumes a lot of significance in the political tumultuous atmosphere that we are witnessing in the state of Karnataka. Not to forget that the elections are just about a year away. In the backdrop of the violence specifically that we have seen, the communal tensions that have existed in different parts of the country, this entire year Rath Yatra assumes a lot of significance. The Chief Minister himself has been facing a lot of questions about his own control and his efficiency as the leader and an administrator. Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa flagging of this Rath Yatra also indicates that he's not taking any kind of backseat in the politics of Karnataka. And in many ways, he will be a very, very important and decisive force. The Congress party, on the other hand, has said that this is the politics of communal politics that BJP is doing and an agenda of dividing the society. They have not done anything on development and hence the BJP is raking up these issues. That's what the word is that has come in from the Congress party. Reethu with us on the broadcast. Reethu, give us details of this Rath Yatra. How long this yatra would be, how many areas it's going to cover, how many BJP workers and netas are going to be a part of it?
So that's the grand program that is taking place in the Mysore. You see Rath Yatra on the name of Savarkar has been taken over from the Savarkar Foundation organizations, where you see former CM Yediyurappa had inaugurated this event and the procession will start right now and will be taken over for almost 4 constituencies of the Mysore. So that's the long procession that they are carrying in the Mysore, and that's a clear direction and a message that the the top leader, the Yediyurappa himself, is trying to put out over there, is that the kind of a wrong assumption that people have or the party leaders have regarding Savarkar must be corrected immediately, and none of them have any right to in fact speak wrong about the Savarkar, because there was it was once upon a time where you see the Atal Bihari Vajpayee too had spoken about Savarkar and had
Reethu, as you get us all those details, I also want to bring in Mr. S. Prakash of the BJP, who's with us on the broadcast. Mr. Prakash, sorry I had to interrupt you earlier, but what is the word which you'd like to put as a BJP leader? Because the Congress party says you've not done any development work and just a year before the elections you are raking up politics of a communal agenda.
No, after the Ghar Ghar Tiranga campaign started, it was Siddaramaiah who started attacking Savarkar, started abusing also. A lot of misinformation campaign was engineered by the Congress party. We are only responding to it. He's a great freedom fighter. Respect him. Why do you defame a freedom fighter who sacrificed his entire life for the freedom of our country? So there is no development agenda are different. These issues are different. If Congress wants to only development agenda, let them focus on raising issues pertaining to the development activities of Karnataka. Why are they indulging in attacking Veer Savarkar? Why are they insulting him? Siddaramaiah called him, he is a bootlicker of British. Can he have such abusive words?
Sir, one of the key things that we have witnessed in the state of Karnataka, and you've spoken about it many times on this channel as well, is the disturbing law and order situation. The Chief Minister himself has intervened in multiple situations. In multiple areas, Section 144 was imposed. Communal tensions are witnessed. Often this binary of Tipu Sultan versus Savarkar is evoked in the political discourse. How good is this discourse vis-a-vis the law and order situation and the challenges that your government is facing right now?
The situation of law and order is perfectly all right in Karnataka. There's no disturbances anyway. Minor incident did take place, I agree with you, in Shivamogga and other places, but all of them have been solved now. and the peace has been restored. Because the binary between Tipu Sultan and Veer Savarkar, it is an unwanted issue. If somebody wants to legalize the Tipu Sultan, they are free to do it. We feel Savarkar is a freedom fighter. We accept it. Nobody can question that. As I cannot question others' faith over the Tipu Sultan. It is as simple as that.
Mr. Prakash, as a leader of the BJP, and BJP is a political party which will go to people and say, look, vote for us again, we have done good work. Through this yatra around the historical figure and Veer Savarkar, what exactly is the message that your party wants to take, and are we likely to see more events of this nature?
No, this is not conducted by the Bharatiya Janata Party at all. It's an independent nation who are carrying out this yatra to educate the people about and inform the people about Savarkar's contribution. It is not a BJP program.
Naseer Hussain of the Congress Party is also joining us. Mr. Prakash, I'd request you to stay with us. Mr. Hussain, thank you so much for speaking to us. S. Prakash of the BJP is with us on the show, and he says that if you want to raise development issues, raise development issues. We wanted to put out a strong political statement that we stand strongly behind the legacy of Savarkar. Hence, we are holding this Rath Yatra. What is wrong about it?
See, we have been saying this for ages. We have been saying this for decades. That the likes of Bharatiya Janata Party, Jansangh, Hindu Mahasabha, and all this, and lots of other fringe organizations have been trying to follow the legacy of Savarkar. And who is Savarkar? Savarkar is the first person who said that there should be two nations. He is the first person who advocated two-nation theory. He is the person who has written not 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many letters to the British government asking for apology. And he has accepted them as their masters, and he has said in return that he will not be a part of the freedom struggle and he will not support the freedom struggle. And then the fourth one, he is the one who is accused in Gandhi murder case. And then Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose writes both about Savarkar and Jinnah, and they say, please don't be on the side of the British, don't try to help the British. Eventually the British has to go out, we have to fight them. And then during the World War II, when Subhash Chandra Bose had an army of INA, Savarkar went to the extent of saying that he will send his army from RSS and Hindu Mahasabha to fight INA.
But Mr. Hussain, I have two questions with you. You know, the history...
Just one second. My point is, all this is there in records. All this is there in a public domain. This is not what just Congress is saying. This is what all the...
No, Mr. Hussain, I am not going to go into the historical facts and debate about the legacy of Savarkar. One thing is established, that his historical legacy is a contested one. The BJP highlights a certain portion of his life and legacy, and the Congress does otherwise.